You were listening to the You Gotta Laugh podcast with your boy Edgar Robledo. Welcome back to the You Gotta Laugh podcast. Alonzo The Psychopath will be the topic of discussion tonight on the podcast. And joining me on the podcast tonight will be my homeboy Andrew, a.k.a. Andrew Man. Andrew, welcome to the show.
Hey, Edgar Man. Thanks for having me on the show today.
Tonight, you're welcome. Tonight on the show, we'll be breaking down the 2001 movie Training Day starring Denzel Washington, a role in which he won an Oscar. There's also other actors in there, actresses, and there was everybody was in this movie basically. But we'll start with Denzel because he won the Oscar for this one. Okay. To start off in the beginning, the alarm rings, and what's his name now?
We got Jake
Hoyt.
Hoyt, that's right.
Jake Hoyt is played by
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke plays Jake Hoyt. He gets up. He's in the bedroom with his in his house or whatever. He gets up. It's the training day. It's that day. He gets up. He looks to the other side of the bed, and the wife's not there. Right?
That's right. He and then he turns and he finds her seated in the corner holding their daughter, who's an infant.
Gotcha. So he goes through the motion. He gets up. He's getting ready because it's his day to go or whatever. The phone rings. His wife goes to answer it. I don't know who she was, but she was fine. I looked at it. I watched it yesterday, and she had good height to her, and I think she had green eyes or something. I don't know who she was, but she was gorgeous. So she goes over to the phone. Back in the day, the phone was on the wall. She picks it up, and it's Alonzo. And now Alonzo wants to talk to Hoyt. Right?
Right. He kind of is very personable with Jake's wife. And she's kind of taken with what he says to her. We don't know what he says. But it's a very positive and a very quick conversation.
True, because she did giggle at one point. She did a little giggling thing, and I'm like, wait, how many times have they spoken, right? Well, Alonzo has that though. You know, he has that thing to him. So he moves over to the telephone. Alonzo starts telling him about where to meet, and does he have a gun, and it was a diner or a coffee shop he was going to go meet him at. And he tells him that, it's a quick thing, blah, blah, blah. It's going to move fast. And then Ethan Hoyt tries to tell him, tries to thank him about, the opportunity, I guess. And then what happened?
Alonzo just hangs up on him. That's it. Done.
But
cuts him right off.
Right. But there was a dial tone when he hung up.
Yeah.
I don't remember when somebody hung up on you. What it was silent, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But movie magic.
Movie magic, right? That's what I say. I always bring up. Oh, that's the movie thing here, right? Okay, so.
But it was very interesting because he asks him if he has a backup gun, because he's basically sizing him up, saying, "Okay, you have your issued firearm." And he also says, bring handcuffs. He's basically just understanding what he's going to have with him for whatever reason.
Gotcha. I didn't even think about that when he said a backup gun. Yeah, I don't. He said he just has the office issued Beretta or whatever, right?
That's right. And, I don't want to go too far ahead, but it might play a role in later on in the story.
Gotcha. Okay. So that's a cutscene. They go now to the coffee shop, and you see Alonzo already sit down. Jake comes through very gingerly, like he doesn't know. Like you would be nervous, you'd probably have a lot of thoughts going on, butterflies and everything. He goes, he sees him, and he sits down with him. Right, and Alonzo's reading the paper.
Right, and you hear maybe a news program, but it's in Spanish.
Okay. They were in the hood then. They were in the Spanish part of the...
Exactly. And then they talk about food.
Right, they talk about eating because Alonzo told him to get some chow in him, and he's like, his wife already had cooked for him, I think.
Exactly.
Okay,
But he
so
refuses it.
right, and then he tries to he's like he doesn't know what else to do, so he's like, I might as well get something to eat, and then that this is where we see the beginning. Well, the hang up was probably the beginning of how he
Yeah, there's a,
treated
a
people.
continuation of Alonzo's personality
Correct.
control.
Okay, you're right.